Welcome to this English listening story. Today's story is about a man who did something strange. He walked backwards. But his story teaches us something very human and very powerful. Let's begin. Thomas lived in a very normal town. Not big, not small. It had one main street, two coffee shops, a park, and a library. He lived in a small house with a blue door and a red mailbox. He had a job fixing electronics, radios, phones, TVs.
He was good at it.
People in the town liked him, but no one really knew him. Thomas was 42 years old. He had no wife, no children, no pets. He lived quietly. He had one close friend, Sam, who lived in the next town. One day, something changed. Thomas woke up, drank his coffee, looked out the window, and felt nothing. No sadness, no joy, no fear, just a strange emptiness. He thought, maybe I need a walk. So he put on his shoes and stepped outside. But instead of walking forward like he always did, Thomas turned around and walked backwards. He didn't know why. He just did. The neighbors looked. Some laughed. Some looked confused. But Thomas kept walking. He walked backwards past the bakery, past the school, past the park. He walked slowly, carefully, but with purpose. That first walk lasted 10 minutes. The next day, he did it again, for 20 minutes, then an hour. By the end of the week, Thomas walked backwards every day. People began talking. Did you see that man walking backwards again? Why is he doing that? Is he okay? Someone asked him directly, Thomas, why are you walking backwards? He smiled and said, because I want to look at what I've left behind. The person didn't understand, but Thomas did. Every time he walked backwards, he remembered something. He passed the old bookstore, where he met a girl named Lila, years ago. He passed the fountain where he and Sam laughed as teenagers. He passed the corner where he once promised to follow his dreams and never did. Thomas began writing in a notebook each night. Just a few lines. Today I passed my old school. I remembered how I loved painting. I walked past the river. I remembered the day I almost left this town, but stayed. Walking backwards is showing me what I lost. One day, a young girl approached him. She was about 10. Why do you always walk like that? She asked. Thomas replied, because sometimes to move forward, we need to look back. She nodded.
Cool.
Then she walked away, backwards.
He laughed. Soon people in town got used to it.
That's just Thomas, they said. He walks backwards. But inside, Thomas was changing. He started painting again. He called his old friend Sam more often. He planted flowers in his garden. He even took a class online, philosophy. One afternoon, he walked backwards and bumped into someone. A woman. She was carrying groceries.
They both laughed. Sorry, he said.
I wasn't looking. She said, that's okay. I wasn't either. Her name was Julia. She had just moved to town. They talked for 10 minutes. Then 20. Then they started meeting for coffee. She asked, why do you walk backwards? He told her the truth. Because I want to remember who I used to be, so I don't lose who I am now. She smiled. Maybe I should try that. Months passed. Thomas still walked backwards. But now he also walked forward, with Julia beside him. He started smiling more. One morning, the local paper wrote a small article. The Man Who Walks Backwards, a story of reflection and change. People from nearby towns came to see him. Some even tried walking backwards with him. An old man said, I forgot how far I've come until I saw where I've been. A student said, I needed to slow down. This helped. Thomas became a quiet symbol in the town. Not famous, not rich, just someone who reminded people to reflect. One day, someone asked him, "What did you learn walking backwards for a year?" Thomas thought, then said, "I learned that we all carry stories, places we forgot, people we lost, dreams we left behind. Looking back doesn't mean living in the past. It means understanding it, so we can walk forward with more truth." He still walked backwards once a week, just to remember. He still wrote in his notebook. And now other people started writing too. They left small notes in a box near the park. "I forgave someone today. I remembered my childhood. I decided to start again." And so, the man who walked backwards helped others walk forward. Not with big words, not with big actions, but with small steps. In reverse. Because sometimes, to truly move on, you have to look back. Thank you for listening to this story. We'll see you in the next one.